All right, friends, it's T-Man. Guess who we're back with today? Jason Blaha, man, strength and fitness. The gym lifting slave again, giving his advice. Let's review this video, man. This is going to be interesting. Jason says, Sam Sulek gives bad training advice to young lifters. Does he? He's talking to people. People are listening to him driving in a car. I don't know. I don't think he's giving direct advice to people. He gives advice to himself. Says he shouldn't listen to this, that. People tell him this, that. I know he's on drugs, so it's artificial. What he's doing is artificial. It's kind of obvious, man. Look, man, if you're taking something artificial, it's artificial. But people, I don't even think people understand what artificial means. You can do it naturally, and you can do it artificially. It's you can build muscle naturally, artificially, and you could build it artificially, whatever, artificial.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it's time for current events, the online fitness community. The old Jason's back. You know, I'm at a point.
The old Jason is back. Yes, sir. Okay.
With this industry where there's no point in me being nice anymore. I've tried to be nice for years. The industry's gotten worse and worse.
Jason trying to be nice? Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get a sip of my water.
That's a new one.
Am I ready?
That's a new one. That ain't water, bro. That's Kool-Aid.
Good boys, come on, let's talk a little bit about Sam Sulek.
You buy that Kool-Aid with your food stamps, and they donate that. They give that to you for free. I'm pretty sure. I remember those Kool-Aid packs when I was a kid, way back in the 60s and 70s, man. Kool-Aid. Yeah, we were dirt poor. We were eating, I think, what was it, ketchup sandwiches when we were kids. Ketchup sandwich. I had my neighbor. They were eating pickle sandwiches with something on it. It was crazy. Mud sandwiches and fucking Kool-Aid. That's what we did when we were kids, man. We were so poor.
Now, I want to be clear. This is nothing personal. I have no personal vendetta against the guy. I have no grudge against this kid. I have no knowledge or opinions of whether he is a good or a bad human being.
Why would you? He's doing his own thing in his own world. He doesn't give advice. He doesn't do anything. He talks on his videos to entertain people while he's in the car. Then he does his workouts and he just keeps talking. It's entertainment, bro. If you can understand that, it's kind of obvious. Sam Sulek, it's entertainment. It's artificial. It's pure entertainment. Okay, I don't really care what he's taking or what he's doing. I've watched some of his videos, even made a review on it. It's just, yeah, explaining what he's getting in his training. But I don't personally care anything about what he's doing because he's not really sitting there and giving out advice to people like, yeah, man, you know, this down his channel. He's working out. He's moving towards a career of some sort in the bodybuilding field, in that fake field.
At all. And it's really irrelevant. Okay? It doesn't have to be Sam. Anyone else could be in the same position. And that's the problem. I said years ago I used to...
Look at Alex Eubank. He's another guy who just has a big channel. I think people are just jealous because if Sam Sulek's channel was probably like under 1,000 subs, nobody would pay attention. But because it's like it's climbing over it's over 3 million now because... people can't stop watching. Oh, Sam Sulek. Like, he's so special. He's nobody. You people are just watching because he's some young dude came out and he doesn't say he's taking steroids. He doesn't give really that much. He doesn't really give advice. He doesn't even talk about steroids ever. I never heard him ever talking about steroids or him injecting or taking something or telling you to take something. I don't know. He's just busy working out. And then he shows you the pump. He works out and he says, let's go check a pump check.
Talk about this, and I used to say, and say, look, tons of coaches are saying this. All the coaches say this. This has been written about in books about bodybuilding. That a lot of pro bodybuilders don't know anything.
Why would they know anything? They did it artificially. How the fuck could they know how something natural works? Natural works in the natural world. If they did it artificially, it's cosmetic.
Don't know anything about training. They're literally just genetics and stuff.
Yeah, genetics. You're injecting plant genetics, which are toxic molecules made by plants, into your body. You understand me? You're injecting these fucking things in your body, bro. These genetics. And guess what's happening? Guess what's happening when you inject plant genetics? it's going to change something in you temporarily, providing you keep injecting it in you. Just like smoking marijuana, you have to keep smoking it to make it work, bro. Otherwise, it go away. Like beer, going to the liquor store. Without the liquor, there's no more buzz.
Tons of it, though. That's the difference. There's a dose-dependent response. And that's what people forget. The
There's
studies.
a dose-dependent response. It's called an adaptation. Your body adapts to the dosages. That's why they stop working, and that's why they keep trying to inject more and more of it because it stopped working. So they got to inject more because the body rapidly adapts to it. It's a protective effect. An adaptation means a protective effect. That's what it means. Your body's rapidly adapting to something in the environment to protect itself from something going on there. Like you lifting heavy weights, it's too much stress on the myofibrillar. So how does it adapt? It adapts by repairing and remodeling the muscle stronger. So that second time you come in and try to lift weights, it no longer is now resilient from being busted and growing bigger to protect you from growing muscles. The adaptation process is to protect you from growing fucking muscles. Get it, man? You understand me? And when you poison yourself with poison, the body has to rapidly adapt doing something so that you don't fucking die. So it has to strengthen something in the body, give way to protect you. Do you understand, dude? That's how it works, man.
Show that the more people use, the more muscle they gain. Okay? It's a diminished return, but it keeps going up. And I've had people hear me say that, and they go, so wait a minute, what's stopping some of these kids then from just getting massive? They don't have to know that much.
No, it doesn't. That whole puffy look is sarcoplasmic. It's kind of obvious. Man, they talk about it a lot in science. I'm not saying that them lifting a heavier weight may not get them an adaptation if you lift heavier, okay? If you lift heavier, it's kind of obvious your body has to adapt by what? Well, there may be some damage there lifting heavier because you got a new adaptation. I'm not saying that a steroid person can't get 1 or 2, maybe 3 more adaptations in lifting. Do you understand me? But it doesn't go that much further. It doesn't go that much further than even a natural climbing and lifting a heavier weight. It's all dependent. So that whole puffy look, the thing with testosterone is going to absorb more glycogen. Glycogen is not contractile proteins. It is glycogen proteins, and contractile proteins are based on protein.
Much about training, and they just need to eat enough. And if they just, instead of using this amount that a lot of people use, even if it's a diminished return, what's stopping them from just using 10 times that amount? Nothing but the cost. That's it. Nothing but the cost and the fear of dying. That's it. The cost is different. Sorry, I'm not going to.
The cost and the fear of dying. The fear of toxifying your body, yes, at some point your body may not be able to adapt to it, so you die. That's usually what happens. People wonder, well, why did I get a heart attack? Why did I die? Well, it can't be very healthy if you're dead, right? You can't be healthy if you're dead. You can only be healthy if you're alive. So you're either healthy or you're dead. Toxicity is a real issue. If I drink 4 liters of water, right? If I start drinking 4 liters of water, can I get a toxic buildup in my body through like over consuming water? Yeah, it's toxic to the brain. You could die. People have used this in torture treatments. They understand these things about stretching your body apart. They put you on a stretch rack. They know how far the body could adapt to the stretch. They know about like waterboarding and pouring water down your throat and a whole bunch of shit, bro. Yeah, man. They know how far they could go before you die.
Go into any details. We live in a different environment. We live in a different market, a different world. Stuff's just not that expensive anymore. I used to talk about that. I used to be like, well, a lot of these bodybuilders, that's why they.
It's expensive. But there's homemade stuff. There's guys online teaching how to make homemade steroids.
We're doing the G for B. They can't afford. They couldn't afford it. We don't live in that world anymore. Supply and demand, black markets, People get access
I suppose maybe some people are, some people are. I can't really tell you.
to things at 10 to 20% sometimes of what it was costing back then. So you see where we're going? So if stuff is that much cheaper, guys with no real money are mega dosing. Remember even Dante wrote about his cycling for pennies back in the day? For pennies now people can double what was in that article. Okay, or triple.
Why does Jason think he actually knows something? I don't know, but whatever.
The world we live in. So people are like, well, what's stopping anyone from doing it? That's it. And Sam is a perfect example of one of these kids who, you know, had an okay starting build. He wasn't big. It just exploded. Now, people are like, well, it must be genetics. No, his genetics aren't that great because you can tell from the
What genetics? What genetics? He took some steroids, bro. People are enthralled by watching him blow up like a balloon, like a pincushion. See, they won't do it themselves because they're a bunch of pussies. They're all sitting back and waiting for you to do it. It's like on your YouTube channel. There's all these guys like Matt C and everybody hiding behind their keyboard, writing shit and everything in the comment section. They're all hiding meanwhile. They're all like fucking Foxahan. They all look like fucking crap and they're all full of shit and everything. They're like the little tiny little weird manlet guys fucking typing away. You know what I mean? They can't show themselves. When I look at the crowd that shows up for Sam Sulek, they're all young people. The old people are not showing up for Sam Sulek. They could give a shit about him. But the young people, they all line up because they're the sheeples. They're the easiest to manipulate. Young people are the easiest to brainwash and manipulate. They'll fall for anything. But yeah, the people that show up, they don't even look like they bodybuild. They're all skinny and small. Go there and watch. Go there and watch the Sam Sulek thing when they're lining up for him and he's signing fucking autographs, whatever the hell he's doing there.
side effects. Okay? He got massive. The problem.
He got massive. He got really puffy. He got massively puffy. Instead of getting fat, his muscles blew up like really puffy, yes. The balloon effect.
Is that it's made him popular. He blew up on the internet as this shy guy, wasn't particularly outgoing, a little awkward, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's relatable to people. Okay? A lot of the guys who are getting into lifting, that's marketable to them. That's a selling point because a lot of them feel that way. That's why they want to get into lifting and get jacked. I can respect that.
No, not all of them are doing it because they don't have access to the steroids. It costs money. He's just fortunate. He has access to it somehow. I don't even know how he's affording it or how he has access to it, how he's getting it. Steroids are illegal in America, unlike Canada. You can be in possession of steroids. I remember you could order steroids online not long ago. You could still order, even probably to this day, you can still order steroids online. It'll come to your address. And nobody's gonna bother you. They'll leave it at your door. But in America, if they find out you're ordering steroids, they'll send the cops over there at your doorstep, man. You'll be in trouble. Yeah. So being in possession of steroids is not illegal in Canada. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, it's all relative. I don't know, man. But steroids are illegal in United States. I don't know how he's doing it illegally.
To be clear, a lot of us can respect it. We understand that. That's real common. And it's not a bad thing about a person. So I want to be clear, I'm not making fun of anybody for that. There's literally nothing wrong with that. That made him relatable to a lot of the shy, awkward guys who are wanting to get into lifting. Like, that was super relatable, but then he got really massive. Hey.
Tide is busting laundry's biggest myth.
But then he got super.
People are imitating and taking his training advice. The problem, if you guys watch what multiple experts in the field, look at guys who are.
I've watched his training. It's chronic training. It's nothing different than any other person is probably doing in the gym now. They're overtrained people. They're chronic trainers. They're people just lifting. He's able to absorb more glycogen into his muscles. It's really simple, guys. You want to look like a steroid guy? First, try to reduce your body fat. That's the first thing you need to do. I've had friends that have done this before. They've reduced their body fat, okay? Reduce it, like completely, like reduce the body fat. Then be on a strict carnivore water diet, no sugar, carnivore diet, and potatoes. That's it. A good starch like potatoes. Now, start overloading on the starch and the protein and go in and start lifting. And you'll notice that you'll start to overload, you'll start loading up this sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. The sarcoplasm will be overloaded with this glycogen. And your muscles are going to get massive, bro. You're going to get fucking huge. And I guarantee you in like 1, 2, 3 weeks, you'll be like 20 pounds heavier. Another 3, 4, 5 weeks, you'll be 30 pounds. 40 pounds heavier within a couple of weeks with sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It's going to be gross. You're going to feel very uncomfortable walking around. You're going to huff and puff and sweat and move around really weird, carrying all that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It's going to suck. It's going to weigh on your heart, and it's going to be bad for your health because it's not based on contractile proteins. So, yeah, but you'll look massive though, get it? And artificial like Sam Sulek. Yeah, you'll look cool like him. So you could do it naturally without the drugs. I'm teaching you right now how to do it.
Jacked. Look at some of the guys who are jacked, who actually have advanced degrees or PhDs in exercise science, who've chimed in and said, yes, no.
What about it? I've done a segment in my old channel about sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. I even did a training segment on it a couple of weeks. I did like 4 or 5 weeks, right? Within 4 or 5 weeks, I was already up over 20 pounds in sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. I look massive, bro. People were bothering me. I'm on steroids, this, that, whatever. Because the sarcoplasm is easy to grow massively. And it's easy to misconstrue that for being steroids. Because, well, he put on all that weight so fast. Well, yeah, but glycogen is not based on contractile proteins. It's based on glycogen proteins.
Clue what he's doing. He really doesn't. He is at a novice level of knowledge. He's got the level of knowledge that you would expect from a kid.
What does he need to know? He's lifting a weight and he's lifting it heavier. That's all he's going. I gotta go heavier, because he thinks if I go heavier, I'll get bigger. I don't know. There's an adaptation process there. If it's unfamiliar, he's never done it before, then he may get a relative amount of damage, because he has complained sometimes. Oh, I missed a week or something, and he had all this damage in his chest area. I don't know, because he hurt himself last time, his chest. He took some time off. And then sometimes he said he was sore. I don't know. It's relative. Like I said, if you're striving to lift heavier, there's an adaptation process to that. How is that? Well, it's going to damage and repair and remodel those muscles so they don't grow anymore. But you force it by going heavier. That is the whole point. But again, it won't happen with a repeated bout. That's the problem. It can happen in an adaptation, and when you're adapted, if you're adapted, you can get a new adaptation, providing those muscles have not been broken and they're ready to be broken down again. If you're lifting heavier, it can happen if it's unfamiliar. See what I mean? But again, a lot of people fuck it up too at the same time, because they get a little bit of this soreness, this damage, and then they try working through, which is even more stupid.
Who's been going to the gym a couple years, didn't learn a lot. There's a bunch of goofy partials on machines, a lot of ego lifting on machines. He is doing stuff that if someone was not on anything.
I've never seen him do any ego lifting or anything on any machines. He's just striving to lift a little bit heavier. He does a lot of flies and cable stuff. He does a lot of cable machines, believe me.
They probably wouldn't really get big. They really wouldn't. And some of it different, you know.
Everybody who took the same steroids Sam Sulek did and eat the way he did would all get big. Yes, they would. Yes.
He is doing some heavy squatting and some deep squatting. So, the quads, yes. A lot of the back stuff, a lot of the chest stuff, a lot of the other stuff, it's actually subpar. Like a decent...
Why is it subpar? Why is it subpar? What makes it subpar? Nothing does. I've watched his training. I've watched him lifting.
Coach could take novice lifters and put them on better programming than that.
He's not doing anything different than anybody else would be doing in a gym. Moving cable machines, lifting, bench pressing, squatting. He's doing the exact same things as everybody else. The only difference is he's injecting some artificial steroids into his body. Get it? And his body has to adapt to that. How? a byproduct of him lifting and eating carbohydrates and taking steroids is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It's a byproduct of you lifting. For every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water are drawn into the fucking muscle, you piece of shit. Do you understand me, Blaha?
All the time. The issue is because he's gotten results, everyone's like, well, he must know what he's doing. And so when people say, no, he really...
Everybody who takes steroids is going to get results. Get it? Now, every natural person, when they're in the gym, are they going to get results? Yeah. But the problem with a lot of natural people, they're not striving to go heavier because they want to look good in a fucking gym. So they stick with the relative same amount of weight that they're doing all the time. And then they're like, well, maybe if I do the same weight and I do stretching exercises like Prophet Fear, maybe if I do this, I may get an adaptation out of that, even though it's already adapted. No, you're going to get fuck all out of it.
He doesn't. Well, how do you explain his size? And you're like, stuff he's using. It's very clear because, again, it's when we say he doesn't know what he's doing, meaning when we look at anatomy, we look at muscle stimulus, we look at...
Bro, a normal person would understand this, that if you do unfamiliar exercises in a gym that you have never done before, you can get an adaptation out of that, providing you're lifting and providing... There's so many things that go into it. There's many exercises or movements that people have not done in a gym. And when they start doing them, they're able to get a new adaptation because their body is not familiar with that movement or exercise. So you're able to squeeze out a few more adaptations out of it. If you're intelligent about it as a natural person, he's doing the exact same exercises that everybody else is doing. He's doing all concentric exercises. He's not focused on doing something unfamiliar, and he's not coming in unaccustomed to doing these exercises either. He's not untrained. He's trained. You understand me? He's trained, man. So he's not getting shit. He's going to get sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. A lot of it, a good majority of it is that.
He's on muscle stimulus and growth. What he is doing...
That's why he says he's maxed out. He's always looking the same. He hasn't really changed. Look at all his videos since he started. I don't see a difference or an improvement in his physique. He's not growing. It's like Larry Wheels. He says, I'm not getting any bigger. But again, he went to the Golden Griddle and he put on 53 pounds in 5 days. Is that muscle? Is that muscle? No, it's sarcoplasmic, bro. Get it? It's fucking fluid.
Not very good. He is not stimulating even 80 or 90% of what he could be with better training.
No, he's stimulated quite a bit. His squat is quite heavy and deep. So he's got something going on there for sure. All right. So he's got some more myofibulars, and he's getting some more what do you call it? Nuclei to further that domain. He's pushing that domain by lifting heavier, and the sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is pushing that domain quite a bit. So it's helping in 2 and 1. He's on steroids, he's pushing heavier, whatever. He's going to get some nuclei there to synthesize more protein. So I'm saying, is he getting some contractile proteins? Yeah. Is it all that? No. It's a lot of it is sarcoplasmic. It's kind of obvious.
So what then is your explanation? The stuff. You know, people go, but lots of people use stuff.
It's the stuff. That's the explanation, yes.
Dose dependent. That's like saying, well, this guy over here got really, really intoxicated, but this guy didn't, and he drinks.
Yeah.
Right? If we put it in that perspective, people would get it. They'd be like, well, more alcohol makes people, raises their blood levels more. There's a larger effect in the body.
Well, kind of like, yeah, if you're not drinking, then you won't be intoxicated, now will you? The other guy, he's not drinking it. Hello? Jesus.
Right. So if a person drinks...
Okay, so alcohol is poison. So what does your body do when you drink it? It's tolerating it. Why does it stop working? Why do alcoholics have to keep drinking more and more and more? Because it's adapting. How is it adapting? It's a protective effect. That's what it's doing. It's protecting itself. So now it's not working anymore. Oh, it's not sensitive. I'm not sensitive anymore. You're not sensitive because it's protective effect.
This amount of alcohol, or they drink 10 times or 20 times that amount, there's a different effect in the body.
You'd be dead if your body couldn't rapidly adapt to these things. You'd die. I just told you, in bodybuilding, if you were to go in there and get repetitive damages to your muscle fibers, you'd get rhabdo and die. It's a protective effect from you getting rhabdo and ending up in a stupor in a hospital in a coma.
Okay, you see where we're going? That is where we're going. And when I say that, that is literally what I mean. I'm not talking
Oh, yeah, you mean a lot.
about he's using a little more than maybe the average.
Your coach doesn't even understand anything about adaptations or the human body. He's so artificial. He himself is on steroids. What the fuck would he know about training? What the hell would you know about training? You're on steroids yourself, Jason. What would you know? You look like a dad bod. Your bod looks terrible. You're suffering from sarcopenia. Look at you. You're a mess.
Person who does stuff, it's like 10 times. The side effects are very visible, and that is something else I pointed out. He is not going to be here in 10 years. I guarantee you.
He's going to be here in 10 years and 20 and 30 years, like all the rest of the other bodybuilders that are out there that are still here. This guy is so jealous of Sam Sulek's success that he has to constantly put him down, making videos about him.
He will not be here in 10 years. He'll be gone. And I'm not saying that to be mean. You can already see the negative health effects.
I see absolutely zero negative health effects. His body is young and resilient. Could take a lot.
All right?
And he's not overdoing it like these other people. He doesn't look as massive as these other open bodybuilders. They're fucking massive. I don't even know what division he wants to go in. Even if he does go into bodybuilding, maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's just all marketing. Who the hell knows?
Watch the breathing. Watch the other stuff. He is not in shape.
Watch the breathing.
Conditioning wise, he is unhealthy. He has already
I don't see any of that. He seems normal to me.
signs that you would expect to see from an extremely overweight middle-aged man. Okay, a guy who's in his 30s.
Fucking Jason is one to talk, man. Look at him, man. He looks like he's 80 years old.
Who's 300 to 400 pounds. Look at the level of
You're still alive. You take steroids. Why would he die and you survive, Jason? Are you special?
breathing. Right? The amount of face acne. Look at the signs of chest inflammation, cardiac inflammation. It's all already there.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
In his early 20s. Kid like, what, 21?
Yeah, he's 21. How old are you, Jason? You're an old man.
Dallas McCarver, 21.
Dallas McCarver's not the same.
If you just do that, because a lot of people will pick up on it, it's going to create a trend. Look how popular you can.
Oh my God. Steroids have been around forever. There's lots of people doing it online. Oh, he's going to start a trend. It's going to be popularizing. Bro, he's not the only one doing it. Hello?
Yeah, if you're just willing to do this is a problem.
This is stupid.
At that age, you saw the autopsy.
Yeah, the autopsy. That's all we need.
It's a conscious choice that he made. He knows that it's reckless. But if he didn't do
Something happened to him. He already had problems. Dallas McCarver.
it, someone else was going to. So that is what's happening, guys. But the training is bad, and people are then imitating the piss poor training, and that's the problem.
Oh man, he's not doing anything unusual. The training. Nobody's following his training. Nobody cares.
That's the biggest issue. He's giving bad training advice.
I don't see him giving out any training advice. He's yapping in his car. If you want to take his advice, take it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Okay? It's kind of, people are not that stupid. They know he's artificial. Okay?
Hey guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today.
Thank God, man. Look, like I said, nobody really cares about Sam Sulek. It's entertainment. Seeing the guy blow up looking like a freak of nature, like a comic book guy. That's all. They're looking at him. And look, he looks like this comic book guy. That's it. That's all they're doing, man. Maybe they have nothing else going on in their lives. So this is my superhero. Sam Sulek, my hero. I bet you he's his hero. He has his poster. I bet you Blaha has Sam Sulek's poster on his wall. My hero. I'm so jealous. the steroids worked for him, but not my dad, bod. It's sarcopenia. I'm falling apart. I'm disintegrating. All right, friends. See you in the next one. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Helps with the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends. Yeah. Jason Blaha. Gay for pay. Love, Sam Sulek.